If you look at EVs on the road right now in America, 3 out of 4 of them are Teslas. They dominate the EV space, and it's been that way for years. Yet, Elon Musk has been verbally sparring with President Biden for not getting the recognition Tesla deserves. Today, we're looking at the bad blood between Joe Biden and Elon Musk, how it started, and why it continues to simmer. We'll also see why Musk likes to pick on General Motors, but how GM is coming back to bite Tesla with its new strategy. When you hear the name Joe Biden, you probably think of the President of the United States, and not a damp sock puppet. Yet, damp sock puppet is just one of a slew of nicknames that Elon Musk has been throwing at President Biden in recent months. Let's say it's clear they aren't the best of friends, but did you know it wasn't always this way? At one point, the richest man in the world used to be a major supporter of Joe Biden. He actually voted for Biden in the past 2 presidential elections. He said he initially was super fired up for the new president to take office and planned to work closely with the Biden administration to address climate change. In fact, Musk even stated in the past that he'd voted overwhelmingly for Democrats. But just recently, Musk came out and said he planned to vote Republican in the next presidential election. Talk about a complete 180-degree change. So, what exactly happened to make his opinion turn so sour? Well, Musk began expressing discontent with some of Biden's choices just a few weeks into the presidency. For example, the Biden administration rejected Musk's idea of a carbon tax because they felt it was too politically difficult. Musk had been calling for this tax as far back as 2015. But the bad blood between Biden and Musk really started to take shape last summer. The White House is having an EV summit. You'd think that Elon Musk, as the CEO of the largest electric car maker in the U.S., would be invited. After all, over the past 3 years, Tesla's been responsible for about 74% of EV sales here in the U.S. But as it turns out, the White House invited Tesla's competitors, but didn't even include Elon Musk. It's one thing to get snubbed, and everyone can relate to that to some degree. But imagine being the richest man on earth, like you're on the top of the world, invincible almost. And from that vantage point, imagine how it feels if you get snubbed by the President of the United States. Anyway, Musk responded by tweeting how odd it was that Tesla wasn't even invited. Later, when the White House press secretary was asked why Tesla wasn't invited, she told the press that she'd let them draw their own conclusions. Well, the feud didn't stop there, and it continues to simmer even hotter. Most recently, the president mocked Elon Musk's fixation with outer space. It happened after Musk emailed his Tesla executives about his super bad feeling that the U.S. economy was headed towards a recession and how Tesla needed to lay off some of its workforce. When Biden got asked about it, Biden touted other companies who pledged to expand operations and human resources. He went on to say that while Musk is merely talking about his concerns about the economy, that Ford's in the meantime working hard to increase investments in building EVs with union employees. He then wished Musk
lots of luck on his trip to the moon.
Each time Biden dismisses Musk, Musk comes right back at him in full force, especially when it comes to criticizing the president's political agendas, some of which exclude Tesla altogether. Take, for example, Biden's Build Back Better agenda. The $2 trillion package would authorize a tax credit of up to $12,500 to Americans if they buy an electric vehicle. But the thing is, the EV needs to be assembled by unionized workers, and Tesla's workers aren't unionized. So this bill would completely exclude Tesla. Instead, it would promote the other car companies, the United Auto Workers Union like GM and Ford, both of which just happen to be 2 of Tesla's biggest competitors. Now, this isn't the only time the president has given special treatment to GM and Ford while excluding Tesla completely. Biden met with executives from Ford and GM to discuss EV adoption on multiple occasions, and Tesla executives were nowhere in sight, not because they didn't want to be there, they just were not invited. Biden also made appearances at GM and Ford factories, and he's even taken test drives in their electric pickup trucks in development. But to this date, Biden has never visited Tesla's gigantic Fremont factory. All this has led to a slew of tweets from Musk against Biden. In one tweet, he called the president a damp sock puppet in human form. In another tweet, Musk tweeted, "Starts with a T, ends with an A, ESL in the middle." It got so bad back in February, almost 40,000 Tesla fans signed a Change.org petition for Biden to acknowledge Tesla as its role in the leading electric car maker in the world. The petition claimed that Biden's actions were an insult to the Americans who work for Tesla. Eventually, the president did publicly acknowledge Tesla. In February, he talked about Tesla's influence on the industry, and he acknowledged that Tesla is the largest electric vehicle manufacturer in the U.S. But then a month later, he mentioned GM and Ford in his State of the Union address while again ignoring Tesla. Of course, we have no idea who wrote the speech that Biden was actually reading. Now, here's the thing. It's not just Tesla that Biden is not a fan of. It's Elon Musk himself. Just look at Musk's other company, SpaceX. Last year, when SpaceX completed its historic mission as the first all-civilian mission, SpaceX received a lot of congratulations and support from NASA officials and even Musk's competitor, Jeff Bezos of Blue Origin. But there was no acknowledgement from Biden. Musk later tweeted that the president was still sleeping, his comment being in reference to Donald Trump's popularizing the nickname Sleepy Joe for Biden. But the history of bad blood between Biden and Tesla runs deep. Musk blames Biden administration for some of Tesla's legal issues. Back in 2017, some Tesla workers wanted to unionize with the help of the United Auto Workers Union. Reportedly, these workers faced major backlash from Tesla. Last year, the National Labor Relations Board, or NLRB, ruled that Musk and Tesla interrogated and unlawfully threatened the workers who were hoping to unionize. NLRB directed Tesla to delete a 3-year anti-union tweet that was deemed to be threatening to labor organizations. It also ordered Tesla to rehire with back pay Richard Ortiz, a union supporter who had been fired. Musk blames these types of troubles to Biden for sidelining Tesla. His belief is that the Democratic Party has turned from the kindness party to the party of division and hate, and that's why Musk stopped supporting Biden and says he's now voting Republican. Now, most people know that Tesla is by far the biggest and most successful EV company. But just how big is Tesla anyway? Tesla's jaw-dropping market value of about $900 billion. Let's put that in perspective for a second. Tesla's two competitors are Ford and GM. Ford's valuation is a mere $57 billion, and GM's is $52 billion. They haven't even hit the $100 billion mark yet. In fact, Tesla's massive valuation makes it the 6th most valuable company in the entire world. And the question in everyone's mind is how? Well, a major factor is to do with where they focus their costs. Tesla doesn't invest much in marketing, whereas other car companies consistently flood consumers with ads on their latest models. Just look at GM, for example. Last year, GM spent $2.7 billion on advertising. Ford trailed behind at $2 billion. Yet Tesla spent more in research and development per car and the least in advertising compared to other car makers. Now, even though Tesla's more than 8 times the size of its competitors, that doesn't stop Tesla from picking on them. And GM is Musk's favorite target. Recently, Elon Musk slammed GM after they announced they'll be building their EVs in Mexico. Musk suggested that GM didn't care about American jobs and instead chose Mexico because it had the cheaper option. In Musk's opinion, Teslas are the most made in U.S. vehicles. Despite Biden's dislike for Musk, it doesn't change the fact that Tesla is a major leader in the EV game. But that might change. Mary Barra, the CEO of GM, recently stated that by 2025, GM will be selling the most EVs in the U.S., more than even Tesla. GM is banking on their cars being more affordable and more available than Tesla's. Let's talk about that a bit. Let's rewind back to August 2006, when Musk explained that selling pricey electric cars would underwrite the development of affordable ones. He even further explained that when someone buys a shiny, new, expensive Tesla Roadster sports car, they're actually in effect helping pay for the development of a low-cost family car. Well, is that true? Now, 15 years later, Tesla still hasn't achieved their goal of becoming a mass market brand. Right now, the cheapest is the Model 3, which starts at $47,000. The base price for a Model Y is $66,000, and the Model S starts at $105,000, and the Model X starts at $113,000. Far from your average affordable family car. And here's where GM comes in. The $30,000 to $45,000 range is what most industry observers refer as a sweet spot for a low-cost family car. And when it comes to that sweet spot, that's where GM will soon start beating Tesla. GM's $26,000 Bolt hatchback will soon be rolling out onto American roads. And if you want to go for a slightly bigger Bolt EUV with its camera-based rearview mirror, high-end audio, sunroof, and Super Cruise, you're looking at a price of $34,000. But that's not the only cheap EV that GM will be offering. In 2023, you'll be able to get yourself an electric Equinox crossover, gets 300 miles of charge, and it'll cost you $30,000. But it gets better. Due to the Inflation Reduction Act, which recently made its way through Congress, a new $7,500 EV tax credit could cut the base price for a 5-passenger Bolt to under $20,000. But affordable pricing isn't GM's only strategy. Its game plan is to offer a diverse portfolio of vehicles that cater to different types of consumers for unique experiences. For example, GM also plans on launching the electric version of their iconic Hummer pickup truck. There's even whispers of an ultra-luxury electric sedan named the Cadillac Celica. It's said to have a price tag of $300,000. Through their premium Cadillac brand, GM just launched a discounting program that targets buyers of Cadillac's first ever EV, the Lyriq electric SUV. We're talking about a $5,500 discount. This means that the Lyriq their base price will drop from $63,000 to $57,500 for customers who join the program. To get this discount, you have to sign a non-disclosure agreement, and you'll have to give Cadillac full access to all your driving patterns by allowing them to track the use of your car. All this isn't to say that Tesla will never offer an affordable EV, but here's how things stand at the moment. Back in 2019, when Tesla Cybertruck was announced, it was supposed to start under $40,000, but that was 3 years ago, and there's still no Cybertruck in sight. According to Musk, a lot has changed since then. Recently, he shared the bad news that the Cybertruck's price will now be more expensive than he originally planned. This is partly due to specs being different due to inflation and other issues with the truck. Did you know that back in 2019, Tesla said they'd make 3 versions of the Cybertruck? The first would be a single-motor rear-wheel drive with 250 miles of range, a 7,500-pound towing capacity, and 0 to 60 capabilities in under 6.5 seconds. This version was set to be priced at $39,900. The second version would be a dual-motor all-wheel drive with 300 miles of range, a 10,000-pound towing capacity, and 0 to 60 in under 4.5 seconds. This version was set to be priced at $49,900. And the third version would be a triple-motor all-wheel drive with 500 miles of range, 14,000-pound towing, and a 0 to 60 miles an hour speed of under 2.9 seconds. This version was set to be priced at $69,900. By the way, did you know that there's one thing that Tesla and its competitors will share together? Tesla, GM, Ford, and Volkswagen are all set to get big orders from Autonomy. Autonomy is a startup that offers drivers the option of subscribing to an EV instead of buying it. The startup is reportedly planning to order almost 23,000 EVs from 17 different automakers. That's a total of $1.2 billion. Right now, it's unclear how such a mass fleet could be hitting a road near you. Autonomy actually launched their subscription service back in January. They currently have 1,000 cars, and right now, all their cars are Tesla models. But now you tell me, do you think Biden should acknowledge Tesla? And do you think that GM will usurp Tesla by 2025? Please share your opinion by commenting below. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for your support.